Free agency, Leafs, are you paying attention? Good, because it happens very fast. Hey everybody, Steve Dangle here, and let's talk about what the Toronto Maple Leafs did on free agency day, or at very least the first 4 hours of it, because I'm shooting this at 4 o'clock. Which means you're welcome, because that's going to initiate a trade, and then I'm just going to have to make another one. Or at very least, what I don't get on this video will be on tomorrow's episode of the Steve Dangle podcast on SDPN. Check us out on Spotify and a bunch of other stuff, including our YouTube channel. Oh, by the way, the NHL season may be over, but the summer is piping hot with Canadian football, tennis, PGA, F1, and of course the Toronto Blue Jays, who are hopefully gunning for a playoff spot. All the action starts at Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook. Bet before the game, live in play, or one of our many prop bets. Doing it right since 1997, Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all that sports betting has to offer. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus, please play responsibly. So, the Leafs make 3 signings, and there was a theme. That theme was the Leafs got 3 guys who weren't given qualifying offers by their team yesterday. Now, that doesn't mean they're bad. What does it mean when a player doesn't get a qualifying offer? Does it mean that team doesn't want to pay them anymore? They don't want them on the team anymore? No, it just means they don't want to pay them as much as it would have cost them to give them their qualifying offer. A few players have actually signed with the team that didn't give them a qualifying offer, including today, Brendan Lemieux with the LA Kings. He wasn't given a qualifying offer yesterday. He signed for $1.35 million, I think it was, with the Kings today. And it was rather advantageous for the Leafs to sign a player who didn't get a qualifying offer last year. That was Ondrej Kase, who they managed to snag up. And before his injury, he was a really important player for the Leafs lineup. And important to today, relevant to today, he brought what the team wanted. Not just the offensive touch, but a really dogged forechecker, just a hard worker. The Leafs got 2 of those guys up front, but probably most importantly, and the reason that you're here watching today, they shore up their backup situation. They get stronger in net. Because the Toronto Maple Leafs signed former first-round pick goaltender Ilya Samsonov to a 1-year, $1.8 million contract. New beginnings here for a couple guys. Heavy Sault Ste. Marie connection with Matt Murray and the Leafs. Kyle Dubas knows him. Sheldon Keefe knows him. Wes Clark knows him. Victor Carnero knows him. John Elkin knows him. He's the goaltender evaluation and development guy for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And you might remember Steve Briere. He was let go by the Leafs, or rather walked from the Leafs. He joined, I believe it was the Seattle Kraken. Now it's former NHL goalie Curtis Sanford, who's the goalie coach in Toronto. So a fresh approach to a fresh tandem for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's Matt Murray and it's Ilya Samsonov. Now Samsonov has had a really tough time in Washington, including, I remember him making a pretty bad error in a playoff game behind the net. It cost the Capitals the game, and Alexander Ovechkin screamed at him on his way off the ice. He was a .912 in 5 playoff games for the Capitals this year. That's pretty good. But he was an .896 in 44 regular season games for the Capitals. That's bad. But he was a .913 in 26 games in the bubble season for the Capitals, and a .902 in 19 games for the Capitals the season after that. This guy was the 22nd overall pick in 2015. Now, Dubas, if you look throughout the Leafs lineup, has a ton of 2015 picks, not just from the Leafs, but from throughout the league. And we know that he's a bit of a creature of habit, and what he likes, he likes. He likes players who played for the Sioux. He likes people who work for the Chicago Steel organization. You can see that in their draft record, and who works for the team, Ryan Hardy and Greg Moore. The dude likes his 2015 picks, and we know Dubas scouted that heavily because that was the draft where the Leafs actually didn't have a general manager. It was in between Dave Nonis and Lou Lamoriello. It was those few months where it was Kyle Dubas and Mark Hunter running the show collectively, and Dubas basically ran that draft. Here's the way I look at it. Has Samsonov been good? No, he wasn't good last year. No. But he's got the 6'3", 200-pound frame. He's a big goalie. He does have a track record of success at the NHL level. He's only 25, and the Leafs are banking on his youth and raw talent to get them through this season. And at $1.8 million against the cap, the risk is pretty minimal. If, and I mean if, things became so bad that the Leafs had to bury him in the minors or something, it would be at the cost of a prorated like $500,000-600,000, which is a lot for you and me, but not the Leafs. And he's going to be a restricted free agent at the end of this, just like Ondrej Kase was until the Leafs didn't qualify him, but we'll get to that. There were some aspects of the Ryan Murray deal that were high risk but high reward. The Samsonov signing, low risk, high reward. What's the problem? This is a bet worth making, I think. Now, Dubas did say the Leafs starting goalie position is wide open to competition, which is interesting, right? You just got Matt Murray and you signed this guy who you didn't even know was going to be available until last night, and I thought this interaction was pretty funny. From Dog Gilmore, then why did you trade for a guy with a $4.6 million cap hit? Come on, dude! And then Jake B. Leafs responds, every position is open to competition every year. Why is this bad? And I gotta say, they both make a good point. And what I would say is don't take a GM at their word on free agency day. Come on. There's a lot of PR there. Ooh, breaking as I'm shooting this video. I didn't miss one. The Toronto Maple Leafs signed Denis Malgin. Hey! To a 1-year deal. Now, here's what Leaf fans I think should keep in mind with this guy. Stop taking out the Malgin for Mason Marchment trade on Denis Malgin. Mason Marchment just got paid, but it was by the Dallas Stars, not the Florida Panthers. And I think Denis Malgin would have absolutely been a Toronto Maple Leaf for the past 2 seasons, but COVID. So Malgin, who is from Switzerland, made the truly bizarre decision to play in Switzerland for the last 2 years, which I get. He played with Lausanne in the Swedish league 2 years ago. He led his team in scoring with 42 points in 45 games. And then the following season, this past season, he went to Austin Matthews' former team in Zurich with the Zurich Lions, and he had 52 points in 48 games. Again, leading his team in scoring. And to give you an idea of how good he was, Justin Azevedo was second on that team in scoring with 39 points. Malgin had 52. So he wasn't just their leading scorer, he was far and away their leading scorer. But the Leafs, I don't think, are getting Malgin back to be their leading scorer. They're getting him because of his work ethic. He's a water bug in there. In fact, I think how well he's done in the Swiss League over the last 2 seasons is less relevant than this fact. Denis Malgin has played 192 games in the National Hockey League, and he put up 60 points in those games, 28 of them goals. Yes, he is on the smaller side, 5'9", 177 pounds, and you're going to be like, oh, typical Dubas, typical Leafs. Well, actually, the Leafs have gotten kind of big over the last few years, and people kind of lose sight of that. So yeah, this guy's small, this one, but he won't necessarily be surrounded by small guys. And it's about the work. It's about going into the corners. It's about retrieving pucks, chasing people down, responsible neutral zone defense, which is what makes the Leafs defense tick. The Leafs need a new fourth line center with Jason Spezza retiring and working for the team now. Maybe this is the guy. Another guy who it could be, a right shooting center, Adam Gaudette. No, I don't know if the plan is to have him at center, or he could be just depth on the Marlies. I've seen him play some wing, but the Adam Gaudette signing was really interesting to me because he wasn't qualified by the Ottawa Senators, and every time I watch this guy play, I notice him. With the bubble Canucks, Gaudette had 12 goals and 33 points in 59 games. That's when he showed the most offensive potential. But last year, he had 1 goal and 1 assist in 8 games with the Blackhawks, before going to the Sens and getting just 4 goals and 8 assists for 12 points in 50 games. So odds are this guy's not going to put up a ton of points with the Leafs. He might get a little bit more than 12 in 50 games, just by virtue of the fact that the Leafs score a lot of goals. The reason the Leafs got this guy is his motor. This guy flies, this guy skates. You'll notice him every time he's on the ice. He's a bit svelte too, 170 pounds, but he's 6'1". And lastly, at least for now, the Leafs put a dent in the free agent market with Nicolas Aube-Kubel. Where have I heard that name before? He's the guy who dented the cup! That's hilarious because he wasn't even an everyday player for the Avalanche in the playoffs. And then he's the one who skates into the team photo at 1,000 miles an hour, holding the Stanley Cup, falls over, dents the thing, and makes the entire team gasp in horror, and just goes, oops, and they take the photo anyway. Do we have any choice but to stand? The answer is no. Another guy, like Adam Gaudette, who spent last season with 2 teams, but mostly with 1. In 7 games with the Philadelphia Flyers, he had just 1 assist. Womp womp. In 67 games, single tier, with the Colorado Avalanche, he had 11 goals and 11 assists for 22 points. And then, of course, 0 goals, 0 assists in 14 games with the Colorado Avalanche, but it was en route to them winning the actual Stanley Cup. Those 11 goals, that playoff experience, that's how Aube-Kubel managed to get $1 million out of the Leafs. Now, again, If he doesn't work out, you can bury that. You can bury that full amount in the minors. No cost to the cap at all. But the way the Leafs rant about this guy, I don't think he's going to be playing in the minors. From David Alter, Kyle Dubas says Sheldon Keefe identified Aube-Kubel as someone who can help fill the void and role that Ilya Mikheyev leaves behind. I think the key word there is help. He can help fill the void. He's a good skater. He can be a good forechecker. Are you noticing a theme with this? The Leafs want guys who are hard on the forecheck. I think they want to be a faster team, make you make quick decisions, make you make mistakes, turn the puck over, and create offense with it. But Ilya Mikheyev is one of the fastest players in the league and was like 6'4". Aube-Kubel is 5'11". That's about bang average for the National Hockey League. But replacing Ilya Mikheyev, especially on the penalty kill, is going to be something that the Leafs have to do by committee. And on the note of forecheckers and what the Leafs have or may do, they wanted Noel Acciari, according to Elliot Friedman. Now, they didn't get him. The St. Louis Blues ended up getting him. And another name supposedly on the radar is Zach Aston Reese. As Nicolas Aube-Kubel filled the Leafs' 3-name quota. We'll have to see. They could have 2. A couple other small notes. Dubas says they aren't done. Would like to add another depth piece on defense. Also some forwards. Although the Leafs got Denis Malgin after that was said, so maybe Malgin is one of those guys. Also on top of the forwards from Luke Fox, Kyle Dubas still looking for a right D with some physical edge. There are lots of trade rumors swirling around the league. Lots of huge names who haven't been signed yet. Kerfoot could still be traded. He's an interesting chip in there. Justin Hall could potentially be going. Rasmus Sandin still needs to be signed, and his future is in flux. And Dubas said that he prefers him on the left side, which, yeah, me too. The Leafs ain't done. This video is, but the Leafs ain't done. If the Leafs do something after I shoot this video and you watch this video, or before you watch this video, but after I shot this video, does that make sense? Yes, it does. Steve Dangle podcast tomorrow, brand new one, and guess what? There's going to be a new one the day after that as well. Thursday and Friday this week because it's Free Agent Frenzy! Very fun! So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. You know what? I'm not falling for it. I'm going to check Freege's Twitter one more time. Do you have any Leafs in there? No. Okay, good.